So today in wave motion, we're going to proceed. We're going to look at the characteristics of waves. And last time we defined what waves are, and we talked about two types of waves. We said that two types of waves, we have transverse waves and longitudinal waves. So today we're going to proceed. We're going to look at the characteristics of waves. So waves that are produced by a continuous vibrating object are referred to as periodic waves. And these periodic waves, they have the amplitude, the wavelength, the frequency, and the period. So periodic waves, they have the amplitude, the period, the frequency, and the wavelength. So what is the wavelength? The wavelength is defined as the minimum distance at which a wave repeats itself, and wavelength is measured in meters. And the symbol for wavelength is lambda, which is a Greek letter. Then we're going to go to the amplitude. So what's the amplitude? The amplitude is defined as the maximum displacement of a particle from its rest position. And amplitude is represented by the symbol M. Then going to frequency. So what's frequency? Frequency is defined as the number of waves that are passing through a certain point per second. So these are number of waves that are passing through a certain point per second. And frequency is measured in Hertz, and this is H and Z. And the symbol of frequency is F. Then we go to the next one, which is period. So what's period? Period is defined as the time taken for one complete wave to be formed. And the symbol of period is capital letter T. And period is also defined as the inverse of frequency. So when calculating period, you can say period is equals to 1 divided by frequency. So let me just write these notes on the whiteboard. So I've said waves that are produced by a continuous vibrating object are referred to as periodic waves. So waves that are produced by a continuously vibrating are referred to as periodic waves. And these periodic waves, they have the amplitude, wavelength, frequency, and period. So the periodic waves they have the wavelength, the amplitude, the frequency, and period. So we start with the amplitude. So the amplitude is defined as the maximum displacement of a particle from its rest position. And the symbol of amplitude is capital letter A. So this is the maximum displacement of a particle from its rest position. And the symbol of amplitude is A. So the symbol of amplitude is capital letter A. So capital A. We go to wavelength. So what's the definition of wavelength? Wavelength is defined as the maximum distance at which a wave repeats itself. And the symbol of wavelength is a Greek letter which is lambda, and wavelength is measured in meters. So wavelength is the minimum, this is the minimum distance at which a wave repeats itself. Then the symbol of wavelength is a Greek letter which is lambda. So lambda is given like this. This is the symbol of lambda, and the units of wavelength are meters. So wavelength is measured in meters. Is measured in meters. We proceed. We look at frequency. So frequency is defined as the number of waves that are passing through a certain point per second. And the symbol of frequency is capital letter F, and frequency is measured in hertz, which is Hz. So frequency are number of waves passing through a certain point per second. Then frequency is measured in hertz. And the symbol of hertz is capital letter Z, a capital letter H, and the Z. Then the symbol of frequency is F. So the symbol of frequency is F. Then the formula that you use when calculating frequency, you say F is equals to number of cycles divided by time. So number of cycles divided by time. So this is the formula that you use. We go to period. So period is defined as the time taken to produce one wave, and period is measured in second. And the symbol of period is capital letter T. So period is defined as This is time taken to produce one wave, and period is measured in seconds. So period is measured in seconds, and the symbol of period is capital letter T. The symbol capital T, and you can also say period is the inverse of frequency. So period is the inverse of frequency. So the formula that we use when calculating period, we say capital letter T is equals to time divided by number of cycles so we can also say T is equals to 1 divided by F.